Hello everyone, it's your boy Kane Natsuki here, back at it again with another new spanking hot what if video. Sorry I wasn't online yesterday, I was just very sick and I got home from a sleepover. So yeah, I still am sick, so I might cough once or twice during the video, or my voice will just be groggy like it is now. In case if you're wondering, right now in America it is 9:46. So, and I woke up about 2 hours ago preparing this video for you guys. So, I hope you all like it. This is part 1 of What If Naruto Was Bill Cipher. So, let's dig in, shall we? And so as Bill Cipher once said, let's dig in, shall we? That's a weird Mageddon line, by the way. Sorry. I'm just a huge Bill Cipher fan. Anyways. Where we last left off was the Nine Tails attack. As instead of Minato and Kushina dying, they would have been spared, as I said. The Nine Tails, aka Kurama, was trying to dodge Naruto. And was trying to avoid Naruto, as, well, his parents were very close to him, trying to protect him. So, they would have not been harmed. Now, we go to about a day after the Nine Tails attack, as we see Minato smiling as he walks out to see buildings being rebuilt with pieces of wood, among other things. As he looks out and is smiling over at the Leaf Village, and he says, what a good day this is. Even though last night was terrible, still, it is a good morning, 'tis it not? He says, as the third Hokage would then say, I have to say, Minato, it is a good day, and the village is already coming along nicely. As Minato would then walk over to the Namikaze compound, as he would basically walk over to his home. There he would see Kushina, passed out from exhaustion, on a bed, while he would see something that was bizarre. A child, not even 24 hours old, was in front of him, and somehow was already doing complex things. Now, what do I mean by complex things? I mean it had somehow grabbed a pencil and started writing complex equations on the walls. Equations that, well, for record, not even the smartest people in Konoha could be able to solve it. It would take someone with at least 10% Otsutsuki blood to, well, finish the equations. Now, that's tough, The reason why I said it would take a person 10% of Otsutsuki blood is because, well, the Otsutsuki are gods. Gods have a ability of omnipotence. Now, of course, they would have a shred of that ability, or a heightened intelligence at least. If you don't know what omnipotence is, it's knowing everything. Now, sorry about that. As we see Naruto just doing these complex math equations, and he isn't exactly doing them in Japanese or English. He's doing them in a language called Ancient Sumerian. It's a dead tongue. A dead tongue means it's not speaking. And it's pretty much forgotten by 100% of the planet. Maybe 99%. As he would just be amazed and very confused, as he would definitely be able to tell that these aren't child scribbles. This is some sort of language. As he would rush out of his house towards, well, he would rush out of his house towards Hiruzen's house, or the Sarutobi compound. As he would then tell Hiruzen that something was strange and off with his child, that he was writing in this strange language, and it wasn't child scribbles. And somehow it's able to hold a pencil. As Hiruzen would have been confused and would say, "Let me see," as he and Minato would walk over to Minato's house and would see the child just writing. As instead of writing in the complex in Ancient Sumerian, now it would be writing in Japanese. And Minato would be even more confused. Like, how's this child even writing these equations? These are god-level equations, possibly even demigod level. I mean, seriously. As they would just stare at Naruto in confusion and awe, as we skipped 4 years later. Now, Naruto did not look like a normal child. Instead of having blue eyes like his parents were expecting him to have, he had these golden yellow eyes. And, well, yellow hair that was definitely bright. Like a brighter yellow hair. Almost glowing. As he also had 6 whiskers. As Naruto's parents would call him Naruto the Genius. In fact, everyone would call him Naruto the Genius, as he was the smartest 4-year-old in all of Konoha. possibly even the world. Well, I mean, to them, it's possibly, but to you guys, it's 100% because, I mean, seriously, he's Bill Cipher and he has omnipotence. I mean, not yet, of course. The powers will come in slowly. Okay? As Naruto right now only has hyper-intelligence that is increasing with each day. As now, everyone, of course, would be mad at Naruto, and all the children, of course, would be mad at Naruto. Not because he looks strange or anything. I mean, he would get bullied for that, but they would be more angry at Naruto for how smart he was, and that he was taking all of the attention from everyone in the village. Other children, adults, teachers, even the kids' own parents would be astonished at Naruto's intelligence. Until they started calling Naruto a know-it-all nerd. Now, of course, Naruto heard the words know-it-all and nerd in the same sentence, and he was a bit confused, as he then said, excuse me, nerds are people who, collect things and read a lot of manga. Also, they wear glasses and happen to be very, I guess you could say, sometimes above or below average. As he would then say, however, know-it-all means, well, knowing everything. So, technically, you are wrong to put those two things in the same sentence. As the kids would just be angrier at Naruto and would say, shut it, weirdo, and would punch him in the face. Now, of course, Naruto right now has no power. He can't really do anything against these bullies. As we go to, well, the top of, yes, we'll go to, oh wait, I just got another idea. Okay, tell me in the comments if you want me to make this, just if. If you want me to make this, then put, I don't know, a penguin emoji in the comments, okay? Do you guys want me to make a remake of my What If Naruto Was the Last Male series with voice, but he is Bill Cipher? Does that seem nice to anyone? Nah, maybe, meh. Tell me what you think in the comments. But anyways, back to the what if. As we go to the office of the Hokage, or the Hokage Tower, I believe, mansion, I can't remember the correct name for it. But anyways, we see Danzo around this place thinking. As Danzo believes that something isn't right with Naruto. No child, no matter what blood, what Kekagenkai they have, could be that smart. However, he decides to throw that aside for now, and decides that Naruto's intelligence would be extremely helpful in the future, and if Naruto has the same intelligence and skill with chakra, then he could be used for a valuable weapon. However, Danzo decided that Naruto was too respected, too impressive. He needed to knock the kid down a peg so he could make Naruto doubt everything and have nowhere else to turn. As he then got an idea, one that started with thinking of Naruto's birth. As the Nine Tails went missing, no one knows where it went. Naruto had 6 whiskers and eyes that weren't like his parents. As Danzo then smiled a terrifying, creepy smile. As he then said, and as he then went to Hiruzen, who was still in place of who was still, right now, temporary Hokage, because Minato was, taking care of a child, and taking care of his child and his wife right now. As Hiruzen would be sitting in the Hokage's office, just sitting there, doing nothing much, and Danzo would rush out into the doors, and out of the doors, and would say, Lord Hiruzen, that boy is... The boy of Minato is no child. It's the Nine Tails. It's the Nine Tails reincarnated, he said. Now, obviously, Hiruzen was a bit confused. Why on earth would Danzo be considering himself with Naruto's life? Because he's not related to Naruto in any way. As he would then say, calm down, Danzo. Now, tell me, what did you just say? As he would then say, the boy, that Minato's son, he isn't human. He's the Nine Tails. Think of it. He has eyes that aren't his parents. He has 6 whiskers. And his intelligence is far greater than any ninja imaginable. He is not human. He can't be human. He's the Nine Tails reincarnated, he says, as sounding like he's actually worried. I'm making it sound like he's worried and scared. As Hiruzen would then say, if what you say is true, then we are in grave danger. I give you the order, as temporary Hokage, I give you the order to tell everyone and warn them of the boy. And tell them to keep their distance from the boy until further notice. As Danzo would then chuckle in his mind, as he would then say, as he would then think, old man, and you old fool. Hiruzen, you are such a fool. You do realize you're giving me literally access to the keys to the kingdom right now. And soon, that boy will have nowhere else to turn. Hiruzen would chuckle in his mind, as Hiruzen would then continue with his facade of being scared, as he would then say, right away. Even stuttering to make it seem more believable that he was scared for everyone. As he would rush out and would tell the villagers that Naruto was the nine-tailed fox reincarnate, and even Minato and Kushina believed him. And soon no one wanted to be near Naruto, Now, of course, this confused Naruto because everyone was around him, smiling and cheering him on, and interested in his intelligence one day. The next, they hate him, and they're angry at him. However, of course, it didn't take a genius to figure out what had happened. Naruto realized that that someone wanted Naruto to feel like he had nowhere else to go in the world, and told everyone on that something that wasn't true, basically. As he had also predicted that he told them that he was the Nine Tails because everyone called him a demon fox. Fox in the morning. As Naruto would just chuckle in his mind as he would then say, "Why are the villagers so confusing? I mean, seriously, it's funny how dumb they are." If you don't know, that's another Bill Cipher line. There's gonna be a lot of those in this series, I hope you know. And possibly even in this episode. I've already said 2. As Naruto would try to explain to everyone, but they wouldn't believe them. Their stupid pea brains would be too small to comprehend what Naruto was trying to say to them. And so they yelled at him and called him a demon and tried to beat him up. As his own parents locked him out of the house, called him a demon, and beat him as well. Now, Naruto had no idea why everyone was being so cruel to him. He did, but he, of course, had to pretend like he didn't. Because, well, yes, everyone knows he's intelligent. He doesn't want them to think that he's this all-powerful, knowing fox demon thing that wants to destroy them. Roy them and knows their every move. While that would definitely scare them, he did not want to have that much. He did not want to do that exactly. As Naruto would be walking and would suddenly be beaten, and he would be knocked out and then would eventually begin being beaten. Now, Naruto would pretend being confused and would say, "Why are they doing this?" As they would then say, "You're a demon fox incarnate." As Naruto would then think, so my theory was correct. Someone must have told them I'm the Nine Tails. But that isn't even possible. I don't have fox ears. Sure, I have fox whiskers, but those are only because my mom was the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. And that the chakra leaked into me when I was being born. As for my eyes, I don't know. Maybe a rare genetic disorder. As well, Naruto would then think, I'm going to leave this village. If these pea brains are too dumb to see it, then I see no reason why I should stay here. As he decided to leave the village. As Naruto would be walking out in the woods outside of the village many miles away. A couple hours later, and would see something peculiar. He would see giant claw marks, but not like they were made by a wild beast, but more like someone training. as he followed these claw marks as they were on trees. So he followed these trees down into what seemed like a path. He followed this pathway to what could only be described as a small cottage or house. As Naruto would open his eyes and widely and look at the house, it would appeared to be a small, possibly one-room house, possibly 2 to 1 room house. As Naruto would then smell something delicious, as he would then look at the house again and would see a pie sitting out the window. And it was not any ordinary pie, but it was a peach pie. Now, Naruto, of course, loved of food like any other child, and was very hungry. So he decided to walk right next to the house on the windowsill, where he was planning to take the delicious-looking pie. However, out of nowhere, he would hear someone say, "Banzai!" As he would then be hit with what could only be a wooden katana or staff of some sort. As Naruto would see a woman with orange hair, red eyes, looking at Naruto with a bamboo staff in hand. As Naruto would look over and see the woman, she had whiskers like Naruto and appeared to have fox ears, along with long, flowing orange and red hair. And long claws. Naruto was even more confused at this woman, as she would then say, "If you want to take my pie, then you have to fight me for it. After all, that's how I do things around here. You want something, you fight for it," she said, as she would rush at Naruto with a bamboo staff. As suddenly, out of nowhere, Naruto would get his second ability, precognition. Basically meaning the ability to kind of skim through the future of a couple minutes, as he would then be able to see the exact attack patterns that she would take. That the woman was going to take. Naruto would then use his intelligence and precognition skills to perfectly dodge all of the attacks, as he would then look and analyze a weak point on the woman, as he would basically be able to see that something wasn't right on her ribs, or waist, more like it, as he would then think, it appears that her waist is hurting. Possibly she has a bruise or something, as Naruto would rush over to a bundle of bamboo and would grab the largest piece and the strongest, or not the strongest, but the most defensive, or basically the piece that wouldn't break first. As he would grab this piece of bamboo and would rush at her from the side, as he would then hit her in the waist with the bamboo staff and with the new piece of bamboo that he had, as the woman would then fall over on her knees, as she would then say, "Not bad, kid, but tell me, how do you see I have a bruise?" as Naruto would then say, "Oh, it looked like your, waist was hurting. After all, you're moving in a way no one who is 100% fine would be." As she would then say, "Huh, not bad, kid. Tell me, what's your name?" As Naruto would then say, "I am Naruto." As she would then say, "Huh, what's your last name?" As Naruto would then say, I don't exactly use my last name. And I do have one, but I don't want to go by it anymore. My parents kind of kicked me out over false rumors." As the woman then chuckled and said, "Huh, well then, tell me, what'd they kick you out over?" As Naruto would then say, "Alright, but please don't laugh." As the woman would then say, "Alright, fine. I promise I won't laugh at you." As Naruto would then say, "So apparently, there was this... someone told the entire village that I was the nine-tailed fox's reincarnation, and only because I have whiskers and eyes that aren't like my parents, and I'm extremely intelligent. And everyone, including my own parents, believed whatever this person told them. I don't know who that person was, but, well, everyone started beating me, yelling at me, and calling me a demon, and my parents kind of kicked me out and also beat me." As the woman would then just look at Naruto, as her cheeks would then begin to puff up, as she would then burst out in laughter, as she would then say, "That is extremely stupid. And I'm not laughing at you, I'm laughing at the dumb villagers." As Naruto would then say, "I know, right? They're so stupid." As she would then say, "Yeah, so." As he would then say, "So, what's your name?" As the woman would then say, "Oh, you can call me Kurama." Not many people do, though. As they usually call me demon, monster, freak, the usual. Beast. As he would then look at the woman and would then say, "Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you're..." As she would then say, "I am Kurama, the nine-tailed demon fox. Or you could just call me the nine-tailed Biju." As she would then look at Naruto and smile, as he would then say, "You look nothing like how anyone says you do. They say you're ugly, terrifying, have a whole bunch of jagged teeth, eyes that pop out of the side of your head, very ugly, your hair's all misarranged, your claws are jagged and crusty, and you never take a bath, and your breath smells worse than death itself." As Kurama would then say, "Ah, my breath does not smell that bad, and I did too take a bath. I took a bath just yesterday. Just a couple hours ago. And I brushed my teeth this morning, so ha!" As Naruto would then chuckle, as he would then say, "You are nothing like how I thought you'd be." As she then said, "What did you think I was going to be like?" As he then said, "Well, I was thinking you're going to be more like a recluse. Someone who doesn't come out often, really mean towards people who pass by. You know, like an old granny or angry grandpa. And she then says, huh, well, you got the recluse part, right? I stay out here away from villages. They don't know who I am. And I don't really care who they are. I mean, they don't know who I am, my human form. And they don't really mess with me a lot. Actually, they don't mess with me. I don't mess with them. It's, you know, a mutual thing of don't messing with me and with each other. As she then said, well, I'm sorry about you getting kicked out of your house, kid. And getting beat as well. As she then said, hold on, I have an idea. Would you like to stay over at my house? I have a guest bedroom if you want. As Naruto would then say, sure, what's the catch? As Kurama would then smile and would then grin as she would then say, the catch is that you have to train me and teach me how you did that and how you beat me. I'm never beaten. Never. Not once in all my life have I ever been beaten, especially by a human. As for some reason unknown to Naruto and Kurama, Naruto chuckled when she said human. However, they both ignored this, as she would then say, well, welcome Naruto to my cottage. As Naruto would just smile at the fox woman, as we skip to the age of 8. As in Konoha, it has been 4 years since the disappearance of the demon. Many expected him to be dead, as we see 3 young ninja lined up to be Genin, basically. Now this, of course, is Team 7, as we see Sai, Sasuke, and Sakura. As Kakashi, of course, is the Jonin sensei, as they have been tasked with I guess you could say, with a strange mission. Now, it wasn't exactly sent by any other village. It was such a recon mission. The reason why? Someone or something was in the forest, but not near where Naruto was. No. It was setting things on blue fire. A light blue flame. That it didn't exactly appear to burn, but it did hurt. As they were confused about this. What fire doesn't burn but can hurt? Like, how? So, the 4th Hokage, Minato, sent forth Team 7 to go investigate. As the team would walk in the forest and would see something strange. A woman. Not like any other woman, she appeared to be a child. or not exactly a child, more like a teenager, about the age of 20 by now. The reason why I say about the age of 20 or 21 is because, obviously, Naruto was born 8 years ago. And you know who would be 13 to 12 18 years ago? 8 years ago? Tell me in the comments who you think. But I'm pretty sure, since you guys remember who was in the harem, you probably can put two and two together. If you can't, I'll tell you at the end of the video. Or in a couple of minutes, actually. As they would begin walking into just the middle of the forest, strangely. As they would notice this trail of blue flame that didn't burn but hurt like hell. As they would follow this path of blue flame to what appeared to be a cave. And in this cave, we see a girl with long brown hair and a cap. This girl, of course, is Dipper, or Michelle. As Dipper would be just standing there, as she would be trying to put out the blue flames. Things normally. As the people would then say, "Excuse me, miss? Do you know what has been lighting the forest on fire?" As she would look at the floor ninja, as she would then say, "Oh, I guess." As now you're probably thinking, why isn't there a language barrier here? Because, they're Japanese, Dipper's American, so why isn't there no language barrier? Because in Naruto, there is no other language but Japanese. So, how can there be another language if it doesn't exist? And, well, she would then say, "Well, funny story, that would be me." As they would just look at her in confusion, as they'd say, "What do you mean?" As she would then say, "Behold." As she would put her two hands together, as a blue flame would ignite, right from the bottom of her feet, as it would rise upwards, creating clothes, morphing her clothes, and setting her hair ablaze, as the hair would then elongate and would turn black on one side, blue on the other, as her eye would then burst into blue flames, as she would then put an eye patch right where her eye was, as she would then say, "Those flames are called dream flames." And that fire is called dream fire. Pretty much, it doesn't burn, but it can hurt you. And if used correctly, it can be used to put someone into an endless slumber. Thus the name Dream Flames. As they would look at her and would then say, "Why don't you come with us, miss?" As she would then say, no, I'm fine right here." as Kakashi would then rush at her and would say, I said come over here. I said come with us. As he would rush at her and would activate his lightning blade, also known as the Chidori. As he would rush at her and would say, Miss, I don't want to do this, but if you leave us, you're leaving us no choice, so we'll have to knock you out and take you with us. As she would then say, even in this world, humans are dumb. As I said in the last part, she was made into a more Bill Cipher-esque version, meaning that she will have the whole God complex, more with the whole mortals and humans thing, like that. As she would then just kick Kakashi in the stomach, sending him flying into a wall of the cave. As Sakura would rush over and try to punch her, but, well, obviously, Dipper would use dream flames and would put her to sleep, as she would then say, don't worry, your friend's not in an endless slumber, she'll wake up in a week. As Sasuke would rush at her and say, you're coming with us, whether you like it or not. As she would then say, oh dear. As she would then snap her fingers and, out of nowhere, a circle of flame would surround Sasuke. As it would then, this circle would then rise out of the ground, creating what appeared to be a Kakashi head underneath Sasuke. As she would then say, you won't leave me alone? Then eat nightmares. As she would then begin glowing green, and as the blue of her would then begin glowing green, and the black would then be glowing white. As suddenly, yellow lightning would burst out of her hands. Yellow lightning would then burst out of her hands. As they would then, as of course Sasuke has no idea what's going on. As he would just say, Sharingan. As he would activate his Sharingan. And, of course, he's trying to use his skills to survive. But obviously, for those of us who've seen Gravity Falls, you know that demons are very hard to beat. Oh, by the way, in the comments, tell me, who do you think would win, Kaguya or Bill? I'd have no idea. If you think Kaguya would win, put a bunny emoji in the comments. If you think Bill would win, put a triangle emoji in the comments. Or a, danger sign. As they would begin. As she would then knock Sasuke unconscious as he would fall onto the ground. As Sai would be over there painting in his, in a book of his with, obviously, ink, as he would then say, huh? What's going on? As they would then say, Sai, help! As he would then say, okay, as he'd grab the book and would throw it. As Dipper would then be hit in the head with the book and would then say, oh no, going down! As she would then fall into a grove of trees. As Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura would all look at Sai and would say, "The hell you do that? You just hit her in the head with a book and she fall over. Well, meanwhile, we've been trying to use our jutsus on her and we haven't done crap." As Sai then just said, "I don't know." As meanwhile, back with Naruto, we see a young boy, about the age of 8, in what appeared to be yard, or garden, as he would then sit right next to a pond, underneath a oak tree, and underneath a sakura tree, or no, peach tree, sorry. Is it called a sakura plant or a peach tree? I can't remember, but tell me in the comments. As he would sit underneath this tree and would begin eating some ramen and dumplings. As before Naruto could even eat the first dumpling, and however, out of nowhere, we see a kunai fly right past Naruto's head. As Naruto would then chuckle as he would throw the bowl up, and the bowl of food up in the air, as it would then catch itself on a branch, in between a couple of branches. As Naruto would then say, "Alright, let's get this over with so I can eat." As Naruto would then rush over to another tree and would punch it so hard that that couple of sticks would fall off of the branches. As he would then grab a branch, and a branch that would most likely be used as a staff, and would rush to his left. As we then see, out of nowhere, Kurama appear. As she would then have a katana in hand, as she would rush at Naruto, and would say, "Yeah!" As Naruto would then use the staff to hit her hand holding the blade, as she would then say, "Ow! No fair!" As the katana would fly out of her hand, and would stab into a tree, and into the tree where the ramen and dumplings are being held. As Naruto would then say, "I have about 10 seconds to finish this." As he would then rush over to Kurama and would then kick her in the stomach, sending her flying into another tree. As he would then rush over and grab the ramen and dumplings. As he'd then say, "Good sparring practice. You definitely need a lot of help and training, and you definitely need more training, but better than yesterday. I mean, yesterday you barely last 30 seconds against me." As Kurama would then say, "Yes, Naruto." As he would then say, "Also, want a dumpling?" As he would then smile brightly, as we go to Kurama's point of view. As she would then think, "Gah, that smile is always so bright." God. I guess one dumpling couldn't hurt. As she would then say, "Sure, I'll have a dumpling." As Naruto would then say, "While you did lose, you do have your taijutsu and, well, fighting was good. And you didn't exactly get a chance to show off, but still, very good, beautiful. As Kurama would then blush, as she would then say, Gah! What did you just say? As Naruto would then say, I called you beautiful. Is that a problem? As she would then and say, no, not at all. As, hold on, I forgot to tell you guys one little thing. While Naruto will have Bill cipher intelligence and skill and powers, he will still be dense as a brick. Like, seriously. He'll be denser than Goku, basically. As Kurama would then and think, he is so dense, he doesn't even know I'm blushing. I'm still blushing. As Naruto would, as she would then say, thank you for the dumpling, Naruto. As Naruto would then say, no problem, Kurama. As he would then smile brightly again. Meanwhile, in an unknown place. Meanwhile, on the moon, we see a woman with long flowing white/cyan hair. Hair with 3 eyes and 2 horns, watching and below. As she would then see Naruto. As she would then say, It appears that Naruto has won yet another match with that fox. His fighting skill gets so much better with each passing day. I hope he does know that, well, obviously, it will take a couple of centuries, but when I'm out of here, I will most definitely probably kidnap him and act extremely mean to him. But when no one's looking, I'll be nice. As she would just smile, and look back down at Naruto. Meanwhile, in an unknown place, we see a woman with 2 ears and with 2 sort of animal ears, gray skin, and long flowing red and maroon hair. Looking through what could only be guessed as a viewing portal of sorts, or a viewing mirror of sorts. As she would see Naruto, she would then say, he looks so beautiful today. Well, I wonder, what will he do when I see him first, when we first meet? I wonder what could happen. As she would then say, oh well, the possibilities are truly endless for when we first meet. But enough about talking about how Naruto-kun. And for right now it's time to see who has he talked to today. Let's see, Kurama, already planning on making a deal with her. Either A, she leaves Naruto alone, which is extremely good, and which is by far the best option for me. B, she guess we start a harem and protect Naruto from anyone who would try to take him from us. That is the second best option. Or C, I kill her and take Naruto for myself. Again, a really nice option. I'm thinking option number B. And option B. As she would then say, also I have to deal with Kaguya. That probably won't be a challenge. And that new girl. I believe her name was Michelle? Oh well. As she would then say, I guess I can add them into a harem? Yes, I think that would be fascinating. And plus, having more people in a harem would make for excellent entertainment, seeing their antics. As she would then say, oh well. Back to viewing. As she would continue looking through the mirror. As we go to Naruto. Oh, who had just fallen over. As the others would have been confused about this. Why did Naruto just fall over? And then he would begin floating. As they'd say, Naruto now has the ability of flight. Maybe he'll get more abilities within the future. Of course, this was said by everyone except Michelle and Alistra. Yes, that's female Alistra's name. Alistra. As she would then say, well, it appears that Naruto-kun is already granted 3 of his abilities. I hope he gets all of them by the time we first meet. And then not a single being. And then, of course, when our harem comes together at last, not a single being will be able to best us. Of course. Worse than not. As Naruto would then just feel a chill up his spine, as he'd then say, well, that was weird. As he would then walk inside of his cottage and would begin and to sleep. As we go back to the unknown place, as Alistair would then say, well then I wonder how this will play out in the future. But all in all, stay tuned. As she would then look at the 4th wall. I should then say, hey, stay tuned. Tuned indeed. For you have no idea what will happen in the future, of course. As Naruto would... that is where I'm ending this part. Hope y'all have enjoyed part 1 of What If Naruto was the reincarnation of Bill Cipher. please like, share, comment, subscribe, and skadoosh, and as Alistra has said, stay tuned.